It was predicted, or certainly the extent of it, predicted by no one. It goes down as one of the great, great days for Irish rugby at Twickenham. What happened? What happened?
I think predictions are pointless anymore, because this tournament just delivers time and time again. We've seen it so many times, and we don't know what Wales are going to do today. We don't know what France are going to do in the last game of the Six Nations, and we didn't really know where Ireland were going to be. And it's so difficult to. That Irish performance against Italy last week looked like there were glimmers of hope, who knows? And then they've just completely turned the corner. The passes started sticking, and we just saw an incredible performance, one for the ages at Twickenham, a record-breaking performance in terms of points scored. And it's just, this tournament does amazing things. Whether you're rugby dorks like us, or you're just kind of a fair weather, just turn on for Six Nations, that was incredible today.
So, take us through the performance scene.
It was just a phenomenal performance. I actually think it started with the under-20s last night. Like, my own perspective on how the game was going to go today changed off the back of watching that game. But we took England on in the line-out. They couldn't get a foothold into the game. Their real strengths are their scrum and their maul, and they didn't get any return from that. Any time we got them on the ground, we turned them over. Like, our back row, the number of turnovers they had, and then the back line just really stepped up. Gibson Park, obviously player of the match. Stu McCluskey is arguably player of the tournament so far with the performances he's putting in. Rob Balakoon is really showing the form that myself and Andrew certainly expected him to show. But it was a complete performance, and I was delighted to see them keep England out at the end and not get a losing bonus point, because they didn't deserve it. And it was just Ireland back to their very best. The passes that weren't sticking against Italy last week stuck today. And as comprehensive a performance as we've seen in probably 2 years from Ireland.
Yeah, probably Marseille 2024, isn't it? I mean, the performance against Australia in November was good, but it wasn't a great Australian side. So it's been a long time since we've seen that kind of complete performance. Like, huge credit to Andy Farrell, huge credit to the players. I mean, not least here, there's a lot of nitpicking and sniping, and this isn't going well and that's not going well. They had a lot of fires to put out, and they did a fair job of putting out a lot of them. Even Farrell's pre-match interview, there was kind of an intensity there. Maybe you got an early glimpse that something was brewing. I mean, not to this extent. Big performance for you?
Yeah, I mean, all the guys that Mads mentioned, but like, the physicality up front and the intent. I mean, there's that kind of intangible thing from Andy Farrell. Mentioned the intent, and he was tetchy in that interview. It did kind of feel like there's something simmering here, and the big performances, I suppose, were seen in light of they were defensive, but they were also attack. And it feels like we've kind of took apart, as you say. Farrell had a couple of fires to put out. We've got to get our kicking game right. We've got to get our defence right. We've got to get our attack right. But they all impact each other. It felt like we got energy from our attack when we defended well. We absorbed that initial pressure. Like, England were all over us the first 15 minutes, phase after phase, and we showed so much character, so much fitness and ability to get back into the line, make another hit, and get over the ball, slow down their ball. It wasn't perfect, it was untidy, but it looked scrappy, and it looked like a team that were playing for each other. Then when Ireland got the chance, the passes started sticking, and we just looked like we flowed in attack. And I just feel like a lot of that energy and feel-good and positivity you get from just hanging tough, you bring that in when you get the ball in your hands. Then you just go, okay, now it's time for us to show off. And it impacts, they impact each other, and it felt like a team that was just getting a lot of energy.
Yeah, I think on that, like, defensively, I've been critical of Ireland, but we got our strategy right today. England don't want to play high into the phase count. And I know we were soaking a bit and giving up metres in that opening 20 minutes, but that's part of the strategy. Make England go high into the phase count, tire themselves out, and then our poaching ability, the amount of times we turned them over when England had momentum in that first quarter, and that set the tone for the entire game. Even when they did break us, we scrambled back. The defence, like, epitomised by Stu McCluskey chasing down Marcus Smith at the end of the game, driving him into touch. Like, we looked top of the ground, we looked fit.
Yeah. An energy about them.
Yeah, the buzz was back.
Where has it been? Where's it been? And suddenly it's there.
And that's where, you can be critical us sitting on the outside, but what was happening internal, they knew what was going on, and they had that kind of steely confidence going into this game.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned a few players there. Very striking, and it doesn't always happen with players that speedsters at club level. Does it always translate to test level? There's almost a moment in the build-up to the Gibson Park try where Balakoon got the ball on the outside and almost thought for a second, can I do this? I think I can. And skinned Arundel, gave to Tommy O'Brien, ends up with the Gibson Park try. So he had a big game, and in the air as well. You know, we've been saying Ireland's kick chase much criticised. plenty of success in the air. You'd have to say they probably dominated England in the air, and that's been England's MO for a long time.
Yeah, certainly. And I think not only did we dominate them in the air, but it's the best I've seen us when we win those aerial duels, our ability to get our alignment, move the point of contact, get it into the wide channels. And we got an amazing return when we did move the ball, 2-3 passes, get it to the likes of Balogun, Tommy O'Brien. Our offloading game was the best I've seen it. We kept the ball alive. And England were chasing their tail for the full 80 minutes. Yeah. It was a joy to watch.
Joy to watch. So the pass is stuck, the offloading game. Again, these were big. Where's the flow in the Irish attack gone? Does anyone have an explanation as to why it's suddenly back at Twickenham of all places?
Well, I wonder how much the psychology kind of feeds into this. And Farrell we've all talked about his emotional intelligence, but he's created a scenario where Josh van der Vlier's got a point to prove, Tag Burns got a point to prove, Tommy O'Brien comes off the bench. He didn't have a good game in Paris, but we all know he's in form at the minute in blue anyway. He comes on and he proves a point, and he attacks the ball like we've never seen anybody in the air. Balogun has waited a long time for his opportunity. He took it. Stuart McCluskey waited a long time. Just felt like there was a lot of guys, they've run out of patience with themselves. Now it's time to turn the corner and get back to where I should be or where I know I can be.
Yeah.